Welcome once again, Knight fans, to Holding Court with Coach Todd Dagenais. Along with the coach, I am Jeff Sharon. This is our three-part season wrap-up as UCF has concluded the 2010 season. They concluded on an up note with 2 wins over UTEP, 1 on the road, always a tough road trip, 1 back at home on senior night. Coach, let's talk about this weekend. You know, we came in, this is how we wanted to wrap it up, and your team came through in a big way. First, take me through that road match at UTEP. We've talked many times before over the past couple of years how hard that road trip is. It's really hard traveling all the way out there. It's the longest road trip in the conference, coming from Orlando to El Paso, Texas. And you guys get the W. How huge was that?
It was huge. I mean, it's always it's a travel debacle sometimes. And it's funny is the first year that we went out there, our flight was delayed 2 hours, so we got in 2 hours later than what we wanted. This year, it was delayed again.
Oh boy.
And we flew through Albuquerque this time and had about almost a 3-hour layover. We finally got into El Paso, and you know, our bodies were telling us it was about 11 o'clock, and here's this tyrant of a coach at the front of the bus saying, "Hey, we're going to practice," you know. And we went, we practiced, and we kept it light and we kept it short, but we had to practice. It's our routine to get into the gym and to get used to the lights and to get used to the altitude in that situation. And you know, the team really handled it well, and when they handled it well, I felt so good. I felt, you know, like, wow, you know, we've matured so much. We're handling this kind of travel issue like it never even happened. I was all prepared. Okay, we're going to handle this. We're going to, you know, have a big speech ready to go, and the team had it. They were ready to go, and boy, it was really nice to see them practice that night. We got a very productive practice. They knew exactly what the game plan was. They were so focused. And it really set up, you know, a good start to the match that next day.
You talk about that, you know, that road trip, and I guess, you know, when we talk about the team in general, you know, at the end of the day, it's easy to forget that these are just kids. They're out there really to have fun as well. How much fun was this insanely long road trip?
Well, as you mature, you start to laugh and giggle at the stupid things that go wrong instead of being mad or getting anxious about it. And we've become a much more mature team. And we laugh about it. It's like midnight. We're practicing, and, you know, and we're going to get up early the next morning. We're going to watch video. And you know, instead of resenting the routine, they really embrace the routine. It's the process. Instead of resenting the process, they really embrace the process. And so, you know, that gave us a chance that next day when we step in the gym to really get it going.
And you guys get the big road victory over UTEP in 3. Then you got to come back and you got to face them again. And this is what, you know, we've had this back-to-back before earlier in the season, Marshall and ECU. But to get the win on senior, see, I always thought that senior night was always a really rough night because it's always emotionally very raw. How many times before have we seen, you know, teams in any sport on senior day or senior night just come out flat because it's such an emotional night? But your team did not come out flat at all. They came out like gangbusters and again swept UTEP in 3.
You know, we spend an entire day starting at 3 o'clock preparing them to play a match. And it's the same routine every day starting at 3 o'clock. And, you know, something like senior night can really put a kink in that focus. And I'm sure the fans noticed that we did something different. We waited till the end to honor our seniors. And we do that for a reason. We just don't want to go through the process of having all the emotions and, you know, playing for the last time and your parents are there with you, and that's really a lot to then all of a sudden go out there and play. And so we do it at the end, and that's one of the reasons why, because, you know, senior night can be a trap game if you don't have the ability to handle the emotions of it correctly. And to be honest with you, most players don't, and that's why we do it at the end, and so it worked out for us.
You know, it really was a good night for those 3 seniors, especially Kristen Fisher. You know, she gets to wrap up her career with 16 kills. She finishes with 495 kills on the season, 10th best all time at UCF for a single season kill total, and the most kills for a UCF night in one season since 2002. Leray Asante was the last person who did that back in the old A-Sun days. You know, she was the leader this year, and to have her go out with that kind of a performance, how proud were you of her to see that happen?
Well, I think I've talked many times about my feelings for Kristen Fisher, Fish as we call her. Kristen was a player that came in as a middle blocker, you know, and as a walk-on. and did everything that anybody asked her to do. And let's back up. The second she gets here, she tears an ACL. So not only is she behind the 8-ball in terms of so-called size or so-called athletic ability, let's add an injury too. You know, and this is the kind of injury that's catastrophic to some athletes. And she came back from that. And then she changed positions, and then she had a coaching change, and then all these things. And Kristen Fisher had every reason not to finish after that year. She just kept moving along. And here she was this year, the feature part of our offense, setting records for kills. I mean, it's really an amazing story. And, you know, I hope that she understands, and I hope she's proud that this kind of thing just doesn't happen to everybody. And you really have to be a special athlete and a special person to make this happen. And that's exactly what she is. We may never see another story like Kristen Fisher again. You know, it's just that she was in the right place at the right time, and she was the right athlete for the right situation. And all those things came together to brew what you saw out of Kristen Fisher this year. You know, one of the top 3 hitters in the conference and one of the top 25 or 30 hitters in the nation.
And we're going to talk even more about Kristen and also Sarah Rex and Brittany Wallace, the 3 seniors, in just a moment. But, you know, she does also finish with a nice little trophy to add to her trophy case. She's the first UCF Offensive Player of the Week since joining Conference USA. She got that this week. Also, Rachel Vuxen won Setter of the Week. First time we pulled the double for Players of the Week since joining Conference USA, too. Lots of awards to pass out after this last weekend, all academics as well. We'll get to those in a little bit. But overall, like you said, to finish with those 2 wins in 3, you finished the season 16-16, 9-11 in conference. Best Conference USA finish ever, best overall since 2003. A lot of great things to finish the season on in terms of high notes.
Sure, you know, and Brittany Wallace got a chance to play an entire match and did very well. And Sarah Rex got a chance to play an entire match and even got the last kill of the season. And you know, it was the 2nd year in a row we finished a season by winning a match. You know, that just doesn't happen very often. And so this weekend, it really was special because it was a culmination of a year's worth of work. And, you know, that's something we're going to talk about in one of the later installments here. But it was really a nice weekend for us to just kind of sit back, have some fun, enjoy. We played as loose and relaxed in both these matches as I had seen all year. And I think it really paid huge dividends, and we were able to honor and reward the people that deserve it.
Well, I know that I was there for senior night. It was certainly a lot of fun. Great to see everyone go out on top. Now we're going to talk a little bit more about the seniors a little bit later in another installment of Holding Court. But right now we're going to take a break. But we're going to come back and we're going to talk about the season overall and wrap things up nicely here for UCF Volleyball in 2010 as UCF finishes the 2010 season 16-16 with 2 huge wins over UTEP. Coach, it's been a pleasure.
Thank you.
Stick around for part 2 of our season wrap-up of Holding Court with Todd Dagenais. We'll be back in a few.